Is your vagina that deep? Let's find out. I want to talk about something that's often whispered about but rarely discussed openly. It's a topic that can make people squirm, giggle, or even roll their eyes. But it's a conversation we need to have. So let's dive in, pun intended, and explore the depths of a question that might seem a bit cheeky, but is actually quite significant. Is your vagina that deep? Let's find out. First things first, let's get comfortable with the terminology. When we talk about the vagina, we're often referring to this incredible and complex part of our anatomy that plays a crucial role in our health, pleasure, and reproduction. But let's clarify. The vagina is not just a tunnel, it's a dynamic, elastic, and responsive organ that can change in size and shape, depending on various factors, including arousal, childbirth, and even your menstrual cycle. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the deep end of the pool. The idea of depth can be a little misleading. People often ask, how deep is it? As if there's a standard measurement, like a swimming pool or a well. But the truth is, there's no universal answer. The average length of an unaroused vagina is about 3 to 4 inches, but it can expand significantly when aroused. Isn't that fascinating? It's like this magical transformation that happens, allowing for pleasure, intimacy, and yes, even childbirth. Speaking of childbirth, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible adaptability of the vagina. When a baby is born, the vagina stretches to accommodate this new life, and then it returns to its original shape. This elasticity is one of the many reasons why we should celebrate our bodies and their capabilities. It's not just about depth, it's about resilience, strength, and the miracle of life. Now, let's talk about pleasure. The vagina is often associated with pleasure, but it's essential to remember that pleasure isn't solely about depth. It's about stimulation, connection, and understanding your own body. Everyone's anatomy is unique, and what feels good for one person may not feel the same for another. This is where exploration comes into play. Whether through self-discovery or with a partner, getting to know your body and what brings you joy is a journey worth taking. And here's a little secret. The clitoris, which is often overlooked in discussions about vaginal depth, is actually the powerhouse of pleasure. It's located just above the vaginal opening and has more than 8,000 nerve endings, more than any other part of the human body. So while depth might be one aspect of the experience, focusing solely on it could mean missing out on a world of pleasure that lies just outside the vaginal walls. Let's not forget about the emotional component of intimacy. The connection we share with our partners can significantly impact our sexual experiences. Feeling safe, respected, and desired can enhance pleasure in ways that physical measurements never could. So rather than fixating on how deep your vagina is, consider how deep your emotional connection is with your partner. That's where the real magic happens. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but what about size? It's a common concern, especially with all the messages we receive from society, media, and even our peers. The truth is, size doesn't determine worth or desirability. Each body is unique, and that uniqueness is something to be celebrated, not compared. Whether you have a shorter or longer vagina, it doesn't define your sexual experiences or your value as a person. Let's also talk about the myths surrounding vaginal depth. There's this misconception that a deeper vagina is somehow better or more desirable. This idea can lead to feelings of inadequacy for those who don't fit this arbitrary standard. But here's the reality. Pleasure is subjective, and it's influenced by so many factors beyond anatomy. Communication with your partner about what feels good, trying different positions, and exploring different forms of intimacy can lead to fulfilling experiences, regardless of depth. And while we're on the topic of myths, let's address the idea that vaginal depth can be measured like a ruler. It's not that simple. Factors like arousal, hormonal changes, and even your overall mood can affect how your body responds in the moment. So, rather than worrying about whether you're deep enough, Focus on being present and enjoying the experience. Now let's talk about health. Understanding your body is crucial for maintaining your sexual health. Regular gynecological checkups, being aware of any changes in your body, and practicing safe sex are all essential components of taking care of yourself. If you have concerns about your anatomy or experiences, don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare professional. They can provide guidance and support tailored to your unique situation. As we navigate this conversation, it's important to acknowledge that sexual experiences can vary widely. Factors like stress, hormonal fluctuations, and even fatigue can impact your arousal and pleasure levels. So, if you're not feeling as deep or as connected as you'd like, it might not have anything to do with your anatomy. It could just be a reflection of where you are in life at that moment. And let's not forget the importance of education. The more we learn about our bodies, the more empowered we become. Resources like books, workshops, and even online communities can provide valuable insights into anatomy, pleasure, and intimacy. Knowledge is power, and when it comes to our bodies, it's crucial to arm ourselves with information that can enhance our experiences. So, what's the takeaway from this deep dive into depth? It's simple. Your vagina is an incredible part of your body, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Rather than obsessing over measurements or comparisons, focus on understanding your body, exploring your desires, and nurturing your emotional connections. Let's shift the narrative from one of comparison and inadequacy to one of celebration and empowerment. Each person's journey is unique, and that uniqueness is what makes us human. Whether your vagina is 3 inches or 6, the depth of your experiences, your relationships, and your understanding of yourself is what truly matters. So, the next time someone asks, "Is your vagina that deep?" you can smile and respond confidently. It's not about how deep it is, it's about how deep I'm willing to explore, connect, and embrace my own pleasure. And that, my friends, is the real depth we should be talking about.